believe in them. Triumph.
The last time Canadians got to see Triumph play in concert was right here on the New Music, when J.D. Roberts took you to the US Festival in May of 1983. Triumph was playing a series of US gigs at the time, but shortly after took a break that lasted close to a year. Their first concert since recently took place near Kalamazoo, Michigan on the 27th of May. They headlined a heavy metal day that featured 7 of 1984's hottest head-banging attractions. The Timber Ridge concert site is situated some 60 miles west of Kalamazoo, in the middle of ski and farm country. We thought we'd get there early, but to no avail. Heavy metal fans had been driving all night from states as far away as Texas and New York, and were lined up for miles on inadequate roads that normally serve a quiet Midwestern population, uneasy about the prospect of over 40,000 rivet rats ravaging their property on Memorial Day weekend. The heavy metal madness was slated to begin at 10 a.m. with LA newcomers Rat, who are currently on their 1984 World Infestation Tour, supporting their debut album Out of the Cellar. When we finally arrived at the concert site, we found them and the other bands backstage in high spirits.
We've been out on the road for 2 months. We've done a tour with Ozzie up through Canada, which was great. I love Canada. We all love Canada very much. And we're leaving with Motley Crue on tour here after today. And we're going out with Blue Oyster Cult. It's a lot of fun to see everybody really selling a lot of records, you know, making some money, you know, paying bills instead of, because in LA there's so many bands, well, we're from Los Angeles, so there's a lot of bands that are just, you know, they have a hard time paying bills and stuff. Now all of a sudden it's like, everybody's making money, getting new cars and stuff, and it's real nice.
Well, where do you think the future of metal is going at this point?
Right up, baby.
When you're on stage, you have got to fight much more than in a small hall for about 10,000 people, you know. So it's a very big audience, and you have got to try to talk to everybody, you know. So you're just fighting on stage for every person sitting out there, and I think this is a great feeling because it's not just a gig; it's really a fight, you know. This is what we enjoy, you know.
Well, a lot of new bands that are coming from Europe are very, very hardcore. I'm thinking of heavy metal bands like Venom. Is that the way that metal is going, do you think?
I hope not. I hope not.
Why not?
We are trying to show it the other way around. I mean, we are doing heavy metal and we enjoy it, but it's not the brutal, the bad way of heavy metal what we are doing.
Because there's a lot of negative feelings to a lot of metal.
No, because I think the first idea they've got is to have blood in their face, and then they start playing guitar, something like that, you know. We try to do it the other way around. We want to make music and then have aggression but no violence, you know.
In contrast with many outdoor shows, especially last year's US Festival, the American Rock Fest was surprisingly peaceful. Tickets were reasonably priced at around $20. None of the bands were paid excessive trillions. The backstage scene was mostly relaxed and uncompetitive, and injuries at the concert were kept to a minimum.
It's been going a lot better than we thought it would. We've had a lot less casualties than we were planning on.
Well, we've seen a few heat stroke cases, We've had some minor things like sprained ankles, fingers that got stepped on, a few other minor things, but nothing really major. We've got people coming to us for sunburn, believe it or not, which we can't do. You know, what can you do for sunburn? Not too much.
The kids out here are crazy today. It was so much fun. And
Michigan is, it's got to be our favorite place to play.
Yeah.
The favorite.
Except Toronto, Canada, I hope. But then
we're gonna be there real soon.
you haven't played there yet, though, but we're waiting for you, for sure. You know, all the kids are sitting out there baking and boozing in the sun. Do you prefer outdoor concerts to indoor concerts, or how do you feel about it?
One thing about outdoor concerts, they get a lot crazier, it seems, than indoor concerts.
Sunstroke.
Yeah, I mean, drinking beer and sitting in the sun, man, gets you crazy. And, you know, girls get naked all the time. And whereas indoor concerts, it's more of a mood type thing.
Right.
You know, because with the lights set the mood of if you're going to go crazy or not. So this is actually an outdoor festival tests your skills as a band. You know, because you go out there with nothing, just the guys in your band, and that's it. No special effects.
I want to know something about your new album. I was reading you said that the third album is always a real test of strength for a band because they often fall on their asses. What about you people?
We've got some serious stuff stashed away. It's going to kill everybody when it comes out.
Can you give us any more details, or do we have to wait?
Well, it's we've got a lot of we got a lot of good songs written, you know, for the album. It should be out. You're gonna have to wait for it.
Oh, okay.
Except for me and my piano.
Hey, slow down. Come on, hey. Oh, I'm gonna have a good show. Hey, dudes, what's happening?
When Motley Crue launched into their act, I was up on the mountain checking out the farthest possible point from the stage, just to see if a person would still be getting his money's worth. So, by the time Dave the cameraman and I waded back down, the band at shows like the American Rock Festival has always been the groupie. They had their heyday in the early 70s, but they've been out of the news lately, lost in the anti-star attitude of the serious new wave. But the recent explosion of heavy metal has brought out some familiar shapes and sizes. Well, what brings you people here?
All the bands. They're all friends of ours. Kind of. Most of them.
What do you mean, kind of?
Depends on, yeah, it just depends on the mood.
Yeah. You've been here all day, getting sunstroke yet?
No, not quite. Getting a little bit of a color, but it's
recovering.
I'm recovering. So white.
How about the rock and roll? I mean, it's happening over there. And
there's a lot of action happening back here, too.
That's crazy. I will not go out there. I'll sit back here.
I've been out there. I was out there. It was happening, but a little bit too close for comfort.
Backstage here, which of the bands do you find with the friendliest and the most receptive to careful handling?
Riot, Motley Crue. Riot.
Riot's really cool.
Yeah. Ozzie's sweet when he wants to talk.
As for the music?
We got really lucky and so far been able to talk to all of them, so, you know, I haven't personally met every one of the members, but I got a chance to talk to a lot of them.
So it's been a worthwhile day?
Yeah, real worthwhile.
Fifth on the bill was Quiet Riot, who are still riding high on the massive success of their debut album, Metal Health. Okay, well, what's this, your breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
Or derelicts, one of the two. I'm not too sure. It's a fine line.
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. There's how many people out there? 40,000 people. How does it make you feel?
I think it's more than 40,000 because it was 40,000 pre-sale. So, it's great. Nice way to spend, Sunday afternoon?
For sure. What do you make the difference between an outdoor fest for heavy metal and an indoor concert? I mean, what's the difference? Can you tell?
Yeah, it's harder to get a good sound because there's no ambience.
Yeah, for one.
The kids have a lot more fun. They go out there and get some sun, get burnt out, drink a lot of liquor, and then feel like shit for the next week. But
how about your new album? I've been reading a little bit about some upcoming things. Can you give us some hints of what we're going to be listening to?
Yeah, it's just about done. Actually, I think the release date on it is July, second week of July will be the release date on it. It's called Condition Critical. And it's basically sides 3 and 4 of the Mental Health album, but we took a couple of chances on this one. It'll be surprising to a lot of the people that think the band is a little too soft.
I hear you're also going to cover another Slade tune.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Slade, you know, who are absent for about 10 years, are suddenly back on the trail, largely because of you guys?
Good for them. They can earn a few bucks. Maybe one of these days they'll buy us a round of drinks.
a baking hot day. Oh, about 50,000 people are getting sunstroke out there. How does it affect a performance if you're performing outdoors?
I am at the end of like an 8-month stint. But the thing is that when you get up there, the kids have this sort of a magic thing that make you turn on. I mean, I'm kind of tired, but I'm strong at the same time with the strength of people, you know. I don't consider my performance was one of my better performances, but it was the best shot I could give them. Kids spurred me on. He couldn't have picked a better day, and it's just rocking. That's what rock and roll's all about. I mean, the last big one I ever did was the Oz Festival, and it's like an ocean of people, you know. This is great here. It's fabulous.
The first time I ever saw you play was when you were still with Black Sabbath at the Albert Hall in London. That was a long time ago.
That was when I'll tell you that night. That was when I got my first gold disc. That was. Remember when they gave me that gold disc?
Oh well, I wouldn't know. I was only 14.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, you've done a lot of shows, you know, since then.
I've been doing it 15 years now. I still enjoy it as much. In fact, I enjoy it more now than I did before. You know.
Do you think you could ever do without it at this point?
No, people often say to me, Ozzie, what are you going to do when it's all over? What's all over? When it's all over, I ain't going to be here anymore. Because I mean, I couldn't imagine myself getting a job in a factory or a shop. I mean, at one point I decided when I left Black Sabbath to quit the business for a while, and I bought a wine bar, and I lasted about a week, you know. It's like serving booze to people. I mean, I like drinking it, you know.
Topping the bill was Triumph, whom we met on the Cal Air landing strip halfway between Kalamazoo and the concert site. Now, these guys do it in style. In from Toronto for the day by Learjet, and a quick helicopter hop right into the compound. And here's how they manage the luxury. They may not have played Canada in 2.5 years, but in the States, Triumph are a hot ticket.
We missed Canada on our last tour, and that was logistics and the fact that we'd really played there a lot, and so we decided to take a break. And we had a sort of a record company fiasco thing take place when the last record came out, and so the record itself kind of got lost in Canada from a promotional point of view and publicity and stuff. And so I think a lot of people in Canada sort of go, Triumph, oh, I seem to recall there was a band called Triumph, yes. You know, but I think those kind of things turn around. You get one song on the radio and you're back up there again. For example, we are here and we're sort of on the outskirts of Kalamazoo. On the last tour, we played Kalamazoo and Detroit and did phenomenal business and played good shows. And the radio stations here went crazy and played the record. So the people come and they go, yeah, Triumph, yeah, you know, whereas the people, you know, in Montreal are going, Triumph, I never heard of this group, you know. You know, so like that's where it's at.
Here you are playing to at least 40 or 50,000 people on the mountain. How much further can Triumph go? What's next?
50 or 60, 60 or 70. I don't know. I think it's, I really think that the band is still in an early stage of its career. You know, as much as it seemed like a long time for me, I know that it was the last 2 albums that really popped the group big in the States. So to the United States, Allied Forces and Never Surrender are almost like the first albums. You know, all our hardcore fans have got all the albums, but there's a lot of new people that have just come on board in the last 2 years.
What's the best-selling T-shirts?
Motley Crue.
How do the Triumph ones do?
We don't have any of those.
You don't have any Triumph T-shirts? Let's blow this T-shirt stand. Okay, where are you guys from?
Oshawa, Ontario!
Oshawa, Ontario. What are you talking? How'd you get down here?
We just drove, man. We drove for a whole night. Sorry, a whole night we drove.
Who'd you come down to see in particular?
Oh, well, we came down to see Triumph. Triumph. You're a Canadian band? Excellent.
Coming up on the new music, the Heavy Metal Meltdown from Larry's. Nash the Slash.